Space, the final frontier.
I know we're going back to Star Trek the original series. I know I lost a bet with myself, and I know that we're doing a notorious episode from season 3. For some reason, I just can't remember the name of the episode. I wish that the characters in the episode said the name at some point.
Where are you going to look for Spock's brain?
Spock's brain.
Spock's brain.
Spock's brain.
Spock's brain. Spock's brain. Spock's brain.
I think it's called Spock's Brain. Nobody's after my brain, I'll tell you that much. To be clear, no viewer, not one, has requested this episode. Nonetheless, it's time to explore this infamous installment, so welcome back to SYFY WIRE's Warp Factor Classic Blend. Spock's Brain! Whoops. Genre. Riker. Engage! Prepare for a Spock's Brain. Mission Brain. Spock's Briefing. Mission Briefing. Nailed it. This episode first aired in 1968, but if you haven't seen it, it's new to you. Still, if you really don't want any potential new surprises to get stolen, all crew to spoiler stations, and because 1968, yellow alert! The USS Enterprise, under the command of
James Tiberius Kirk,
encounters an ion drive vessel, and Scotty thinks that it's interesting.
That beats me, but isn't she a beauty?
Interesting design.
I've never seen anything like her.
It really is, because in no time, a strange woman is transported directly to the bridge. She knocks out the entire crew and steals Spock's brain. Dr. McCoy finds Spock in sickbay, and his brain has been surgically removed. The body can stay alive thanks to wondrous Vulcan physiology, but only for 24 hours. The clock is now ticking for Kirk and Co. to recover Spock's brain. They track the Ion ship to Sigma Draconis 6, a planet in the middle of an ice age where a group of all-male ruffians warn Kirk about the givers of pain and delight. Kirk naturally asked about women. These guys don't know what he's talking about. Not a good day for Kirk. Not a good planet for him to visit. Dr. McCoy comes on down and brings Spock's brainless body with him. They go underground and meet a woman named Luma who has the mind of a child.
Spock, is that you?
Captain Kirk.
Spock's voice is heard before the party is captured by women, the aforementioned givers of pain and delight. Really subtle, good stuff. And they are brought before Kara, the woman who stole Spock's brain. Kirk demands to know what they've done with Spock's brain. Kara doesn't know what that is, but it does sound very similar to something she calls the Controller. Her underground civilization is dependent on such a thing. Kirk and Co. escape and manage to find Spock's brain. A machine called the Teacher taught Kara the skills necessary to remove Spock's brain, but that knowledge only lasted for 3 hours? McCoy uses more temporary knowledge from the Teacher to restore Spock's brain, though the knowledge fades halfway through. At this point, Spock himself is kind of conscious again, so he helps McCoy through the rest of the procedure, talking him through reinstalling his own brain.
How do you feel, Spock?
On the whole, Captain, I believe I'm quite fit.
Kara fears for the existence of her people without a controller. Kirk's solution is that the women underground and the men up top exist together. Spock then starts to talk about how this culture really works, and
I shouldn't have done it.
What's that?
I should have never reconnected his mouth.
that's the episode. Spock's brain!
Look at his eyes uncovered!
Is there plenty of secrets and lore residing within Spock's brain? Did someone on YouTube sing the entirety of Without Me in Klingon? Yes, they did. Plah to Kumuch. Notorious, infamous, silly, weird, so odd that it's a must-watch. Spock's Brain is all of these things. It was a bang-up way to begin Season 3 of the original Star Trek series, a season that sometimes makes Season 1 of The Next Generation look like Season 2 of The Next Generation. Spock's Brain! Jadvash. In his 2008 autobiography, William Shatner joked that the story of this episode was a tribute to the executives who slashed the budget of the show and gave it a new, bad time slot. It is the only episode of the original series that includes a character's name in the title. Other series would feature this more, with Q taking the bulk of the honors, but Data, Bashir, Troy, Quark, and Tuvix all get some titles as well. The jumpsuit worn here by Spock, or Spock's body, for his planetary visit is almost certainly the same one that he wears in This Side of Paradise. This episode also features Mr. Sulu in command of the Enterprise and taking the command chair, something seen in Errand of Mercy and the Enterprise incident, and then again in The Lights of Zetar and The Savage Curtain. The only instance of Sulu recording a log entry on this series is in this episode, and it includes him mistakenly referring to Sigma Draconis 6 as Sigma Draconis 7.
Lieutenant Sulu recording. I'm holding the Enterprise in orbit about planet Sigma Draconis 7.
Kirk makes the same mistake in this episode, and I, myself, make it all the time. This is Sigma Draconis 6! No? I'm trying to make a SETI Alpha 5 thing. No, forget it. Sulu would, of course, eventually get his very own command chair and make the captain's logs himself on the USS Excelsior, where ship and crew function well. And we see him in command of it in Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country. When ranking the worst episodes of each series, the award usually even takes the name Spock's Brain, as in, what's the Spock's Brain of the Next Generation? I usually disagree with people on what TNG's Spock's Brain is, and I maintain that DS9 does not have one. No, not even Move Along Home.
Alla Maraine, count to 4. Alla Maraine, count to 4.
Love it. But it's hard to disagree with people thinking that Threshold is a contender from Star Trek Voyager. That one is pretty special.
There are traces of human DNA. It's them. But I have to admit, I'm not sure which one is the captain.
The female, obviously.
A Trek writer and producer, Ronald D. Moore, once said that this episode, Spock's Brain, was quote-unquote tolerable, but also that it was the second weakest episode of the original series, with The Light of Zetar right at the bottom. The campy fun of it all got him through it. There's nothing wrong with
campy fun, that's for sure.
And Spock's Brain is full of it. Now, if you're thinking that some kind of drinking game would be fun using that title, put the Saurian brandy down. You will not survive. You will die. Just down. Don't do it. Don't you do it. Don't do it. No, don't do it.
Earl Grey never fails.
Earl Grey never fails. And this episode is not packed with classic quotes. Not at all. Not even gonna pretend like it is. Campy quotes, though. Oh, we've got those. Take an early McCoy classic.
His brain is gone.
Weird quotes? Kara has you covered.
Brain, what is brain?
Cringe-inducing quotes. Kirk and McCoy are here for you with their discovery that the moniker Givers of Pain and Delight refers to women.
I'm sure you noticed the delight aspect of this place.
Yes, I certainly did notice those delightful aspects.
Yeah, I bet you noticed. Still, no quote in this episode compares with everyone saying the episode's title over
Spock's Brain.
and over
For Spock's brain.
and over
Spock's brain.
and over again.
Spock's Brain.
Earl Grey never fails? Earl Grey. What is Earl Grey? How will this episode potentially feature into the future of Trek? It won't. There's no way. I mean, there are always possibilities, as Spock says, but come on. I'm willing to say that if the events of this episode, Spock's Brain, feature into a future episode of Discovery, Picard, or even Strange New Worlds, I'll eat a hat, like a hat covered in garbage. But you never know, so I'm not saying brain. I'm not saying no. If you really stretch, Picard did have his brain and soul put into an advanced android body, so perhaps the teacher helped or will help again Alton Soong and Dr. Girardi out with that? Probably not, but that's my headcanon now. Patrick Stewart has recently said that Brent Spiner will be a big part of Picard Season 2, presumably in his role as Dr. Alton Soong. Could the teacher or the Society of Sigma Draconis 6 come into play? Doubtful, but who knows how deep and bold their cuts would get. McCoy would be out of the picture by then, so they would need a new brain doctor. So that, what does that make me think of? It makes me think of, Crusher Watch! Crusher Watch! Nope, wrong crew, wrong show. Nope's all around. Get out of here, Beverly! You don't want any part of this shit!
Hailing frequencies open.
Our hailing frequencies are now open. Be sure to tell us what your thoughts are on this beloved classic, Spock's Brain, as well as what episodes you'd like to see us explore in the future. I'll listen to them this time, I promise. One viewer asked about my baseball, writing, "Is that the baseball from Deep Space Nine?" No, definitely not. It's my own baseball that I just have for reasons unknown. I'm not fit to hold the emissary's baseball, but it's nice that you thought so. Another viewer writes, "Did he just say he loves Discovery? I don't get it. Where's the punchline?" Well, there is no punchline. I do, in fact, love Star Trek Discovery. Sue me, shoot phasers through me. I love it. That's me. I don't know. I think we've all come a long way since this episode began. I know I have. The brain. What is brain? The brain is where the home is, you could say. The brain is where your glass tables are. The brain is where your heart meets the head and everyone comes home for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I think you know what I'm talking about. Spock's brain, smiling at you. Nothing but Spock's brain, shining through.
Kapla!